The framework actually augments, enables, empowers artificial intelligence investment within the company, which ensures that return on investment is upfront calculated before even starting the AI journey. Disciplined way of AI implementation is through the decision intelligence framework. Damo, from your experience, what are the mistakes that executives generally you come across from a decision intelligence perspective?
Not one, I could say 5 critical mistakes. So start with one is decision intelligence replaces executives. Usually it arguments with every executive judgment because we go by intuitions.
So you said it actually augments. It's not replacement, but augmentation.
We have a dashboard, so we are covered. Where a dashboard shows, okay, where are you? And decision shows, okay, where to go. Another area is I've seen executives where struggle to infer the dashboard itself because that's where inferencing get wrong. A mathematical inferencing in terms of quantifying a leaf chart or a bar chart when you give it an executive report, the inferences and act is it has a variation. Our executives have great intuitions because they are the boss of the business. But decision intelligence captures this institution, make it scalable, removes the blind spot, and makes up a holistic learning. And institution plus structured intelligence will able to give you better outcome. So it's kind of reconfirming my intuition, or somebody says my intuition is correct. That's the most happiest thing. So fourth biggest misconception is this is just better analytics. Analytics is descriptive. It shows what happened. Decision intelligence are prescriptive. It tells what will you. But in the ground, there is a trade-off as well. So risk quantified, alternatives evaluated, then it gets into an action. The final is read a perfect data to do it. Definitely, in my experience, I have never seen a company having a perfect data. If the data they have 60% to 70% perfect, I call it as it's a 5-star data company. So these misconceptions are there in the market. I need a better data. I needed a proper framework, a tool data. Yes, obviously. But if you're relying on the data, you cannot start any intelligence framework. Finally, the first part is implementation pitfalls.
These are the misconceptions. But you believe that the framework actually augments, enables, empowers artificial intelligence investment within the company, which ensures that return on investment is upfront calculated before even starting the AI journey, which is very insightful.
I call it as a disciplined way of doing.
Disciplined way of AI implementation is through the decision intelligence framework. Exactly. That is powerful. So, Damo, let's say a company executive wants to implement this framework, the decision intelligence framework. What are the missteps? What are the mistakes that generally happens around decision intelligence framework implementation?
Out of my experience, I saw 5 fatalities.
You have a 5 for everything. That's interesting.
So maybe I would say that starting too big. 18 months transformation program for an entire data transformation. What happens is after 18 months, the program get fails. So I usually recommend start with one high value recurring decisions where you have to act. Second is technology first.
So you're saying let's spend a little bit time on that. So you're saying that pick a proof of concept, pick a high value decision that actually impacts an organization, and go through the full cycle instead of doing organizational transformation. At least for beginners in this journey, you would recommend do a quick POC, establish proof of concept, scale.
Exactly.
Excellent. What is your other?
I call it as a there's another I call it as a misconception where we usually think technology first. People think that buying a platform before understanding the decision process will help. I'm not seeing it as well. So I would recommend highly spend time 80% of the time on the framework and 20% on the technology.
No, it's so true. I mean, I think over the last decades, we have had multiple examples, ERP platforms, where we invest a lot in a platform, but the utilization of the platform is very minuscule compared to the investment that is made. So you're saying even in the AI journey, have the decision framework first, then going technology first. Very powerful. So quantify, define your decisions, measure how you're going to, when you are success. So before and after. So the framework actually helps in defining the outcome before the implementation.
Exactly. So it's kind of a diagnosis. So pre-operation and post-operation for our patient.
So the definition of success is very clear upfront.
Exactly. So because then you can really say that your AI implementation is successful.
Successful, correct. Yep. You don't leave it to chance.
Yes. And third one is ignoring cultural perspective where technical perfection without change management equals to resistance and failure.
No, it's interesting you said, because this morning I was in the AI tour at Bangalore, and one of the first things that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said is mindset. The mindset change. So it resonates to when you say the cultural shift, the change management that is required in terms of implementing the framework. Interesting.
We call it as another one as a complexity. So we call it as keep it simple. Do X because Y beats sophisticated black boxes.
No, what you're saying is it requires a mind shift. Because I always say you go buy a product, you want the product to work perfectly from day one. But in the AI world, it's a journey. So the decision intelligence framework actually helps in simplifying the approach itself.
Interesting. And the last one is learning loops. What is going right? What is going wrong? Get into actual feedback loop of reality. So that feedback loop, it is not going to the next market exciting, which is actually the true value. People used to miss this.
Very true. Very true. Very interesting.